you were one of the first and the very few to KO Charles Olivera. And you know, he had a career rebirth, and the guy obviously is one of the best to do it right now. What are your thoughts on him and his career and what he has going on right now?
I'm glad he moved back up to 55. I think, you know, he was a shell of himself at 45, and, you know, that I was able to be on the benefit of that, one of the people. But, yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even train any jiu-jitsu for that fight because I had pulled my groin pretty bad and I couldn't run, and I was like, I'm just going to knock him out. What are you going to do? You know, they gave me like 6 weeks notice. I was pretty heavy. I couldn't run. I was like, I'm going to knock him out. And then plus I kind of didn't like him when we got the fight.
Why is that?
You know, every fighter is different, but, you know, you try to give each other respect. We had fought on a couple of the same cards before that, and he would put on his headphones on like the bus, and it'd be like, it's a lot of tension, you know, when you're on your way to weigh-ins or the fight, and you just have your team. It's pretty quiet. You know, everyone's respecting each other because everyone has different energy, you know. Some people are in a good mood. Some people are not. And Charles would have his headphones on, and he would be singing Brazilian, like religious music. And he's like singing loud, but he hears, and he's just like,
Is he a good singer?
No. You know, and that bothered me so much because I'm like, dude, you're not the only one on this bus. Like, have some respect. And then when the next day we got to the arena, it was like 6 sets of chairs around a big mat at the arena. And the first thing he did is he took his, he had this huge oversized banner, and he whipped it out and he put it on the mat. And he was like, he wasn't the first one that was going to fight. So we all needed that. And I just sat there and I was just like, that's so disrespectful. Like, that's for all of us. And you're like claiming it as yours. Like, I started getting annoyed. So when they were like, oh, do you want to fight Charles? I was like, yeah, I do. And because that bothered me. And then we're cool now. I think he doesn't like me as much anymore because he's the big dog. I've seen him a few times. He's like, hey, like he's the big guy. But
That's funny.
I remember on a loss, he cried on my shoulder one time because he was so sad, and he was there all alone. So I remember things like that.
Did you rub the back of his head while he was crying?
No, I was kind of like, you know.
You didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I was just trying to be like, hey, you all right? You know? So I remember those things.